Were you, or were you not, on a gay cruise?
No, you're 120% dick pic.
Everybody at that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
Because we don't care about anything else. We're a walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh, my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room, and you return the favor.
Got her in. Oh. Somewhere on the outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop! Stop it now! I order you to stop! I'm still touching myself.
Yeah!
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge their phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. That's not... look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you gotta fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah, okay.
I got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar, and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it. Hey, what's going on, you raucous bastards? Welcome to Grunt Speak.
Live from the lair. It actually is live.
Yeah, special guest in the house, Richard Fitzwell. It's time for his annual visit.
Yeah, now, back again from God's waiting room down south.
Well, today's stream is what we're referring to as a after Christmas decompression stream. Because like Blake is feeling the pressure. He's like, you know what? I have time off, but I feel like I don't have any time off.
Well, yeah, man, because even when you have time off, you still, got to deal, especially when you're married or whatever, or especially if you're like from like a broken home or something. You got to go visit everybody. You're driving here, you're driving there, dealing with assholes on the road.
And here's the funny part, because I used to feel the same way. Because I'd have to drive in or take the train from New York, do all kinds of horse shit, do all the shopping for my own children and family and what have you, and you got to visit all the other houses. But now that I'm, my kids are grown and on their own and doing their own thing, I kind of miss those days. So enjoy them while you have them.
Oh yeah, I know. It's
I'm serious.
There's a lot going on, or should I say,
that's expensive.
The chat will be happy to know.
Very expensive.
Yes.
That is actually the Barbie Coast expensive.
Yes.
Pretty much, yes.
Yes, it is.
The chat will be happy to know, though, that there will be a new pop culture this coming week. I have been busting my ass in my free time, I guess you could call it. Preliminary cut is 35 minutes long, so I'm trying to trim it down a little bit more before I get all the graphics in there, but it'll be ready for Monday. Be ready for our supporters tomorrow.
What is the title on this one?
Oh, this one? Brutal Shit Women Do to Men.
Oh, yeah.
It's a goodie.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's another list.
Paternity Fraud, Abby Orshins.
Yeah. I also did a whiteboard one, too. So
I'm reading this chat. Who ordered the TimuWishVersion.com of Arnold?
All right. For those of you that don't know Mr. Dick Fitzwell, he and I served together in Company F 425 Long Range Reconnaissance Airborne Infantry. And he was assigned to my team in 1995 when I first showed up at the 425 after they shut down 12th Group Special Forces. And we served together for a good 4 years, jumping into like crazy ass places. We had all kinds of crazy adventures. Now, granted, it was a National Guard unit, but that unit did not exist or operate like a standard, shamming National Guard unit.
No, the best way you described it operated as one big A team.
That's right. 159-man Special Forces A team. It was fucking awesome. And I really think Michigan screwed up royally.
We had a lot of talent there.
They deactivated him in 2011.
Remember that one kid we had as a private, and he was a nuclear physicist?
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
We'd get guys like that in the unit. I'm like, what are you doing here? He goes, I just want to shoot guns and kill people. Oh, okay.
You're in the National Guard, so you're certainly in.
Yeah, I don't think you remember the guy's name was Freeman, right? Guy was literally a professor at Cornell University, had two doctorates, and he was Jewish, not a big deal. But he shows up, he literally looks like a rope man, like no muscle on him at all, just tall, lanky guy, could barely carry his weight around. And I remember like why the hell are you here, Freeman? Because some assholes decided to fly some planes into some buildings pretty close to where I used to live. And it's one hell of a wake-up call. And I'm like, good answer.
We had some guys pursue some pretty promising careers outside the 425.
We had a heart surgeon. And you could never say he was a doctor, because he would just go, I'm not a doctor. Because the minute you're like, well, he's a doctor. I'm not a doctor. Because they know it. They always say, hey. And people would come bugging him.
We had one of our snuffies actually become the battalion commander of the aviation, the Chinook unit out there in Selfridge.
Yeah.
Yep. Who else? Okay, we had the nuclear physicist. In fact, remember Sergeant? I called him Sergeant Spicoli because he just had that surfer persona about him. Dude, whoa, yeah. He moved on and he became a doctor, a surgeon for himself.
Remember Skeltis?
Skeltis, yeah.
Staff Sergeant Skeltis. He was an awesome LURS team leader, right? Great guy.
Yeah.
He would do whatever you told him to do to the best of his ability. If you fail, you fail. Listen, that's all I can ask is you just try. He pulls me aside one day. He's like, "Hey, Sergeant Pop, I'm kind of conflicted." And I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "Well, I've been working in a metal shop, and at night I've been going to school, and I got my bachelor's in nursing, and they offered me a commission, but I don't know." And I'm like, "What?" I go, "Dude, you've been in nurse now for like 12 goddamn years. All right, you're square with the house. You owe us nothing. Go become an officer."
Yeah.
And he became a nurse practitioner anesthetist.
Really?
And retired as a lieutenant colonel.
Yeah. All right.
He's the one I counseled because he had a wife that had a really bad gambling problem, and he would just pull his hair out. And I'd be like,
So she had to go to ga and nah.
Ga and nah.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know what that is, that's Gamblers Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, and Alcohol Anonymous.
Yeah.
Ga and nah.
Then there's the legend of Sergeant Stook.
Oh, yeah.
Stook was somebody put it best.
He jumped into Rio Hato with me.
Yeah, he jumped into Rio Hato with you, and somebody said in a former life he did fly the skull and crossbones in a former life.
Guy was an absolute savage.
That guy was a savage. I mean, in Ranger Battalion, he married a stripper just to get out of the barracks.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, hang on.
What could go wrong?
Yes.
But he knew the consequences, but he just took advantage of the fact he didn't have to be in the barracks anymore. So he just married a stripper for the convenience of being in the barracks and getting the BAH. So I guess it was just a marriage of convenience.
Well, first of all, that BAH, it's not worth it. It's not worth getting married in the military. It's just not. I've heard that before. Well, double my pay. Yeah, she's good people. She would never do anything to me. And these 6 months to a year wrecked their lives, their careers, train wrecked into oblivion.
Yeah.
And literally, some of these guys got like hog-tied and horse fucked so bad. Literally, the train rammed up their ass. That's how bad they got.
When I was stationed in Italy, we'd have some guys, country boys, that were all just pretty much tied at the penis to their girlfriends still back at home. And they would pretty much fly their girlfriends in to Italy, and then it was just basically a big culture shock for them. And then it was the whole put them on the spot proposal. Will you marry me?
Yeah.
I mean, they're in Italy, okay, a romantic setting. They're down somewhere in Italy, anywhere, and it's, I would get back. I'd hear the depressing stories. I got the puffy eyes from the crying and everything else because she said no.
Or actually, Italy, if you're airborne infantry, an assignment at Italy was the dream assignment.
It was. That's where I was. I was in the dream assignment. So it was Vicenza. They're still there. Originally, it was in Verona. Why the 325 got kicked out of Verona was because I guess they harassed a bunch of nuns.
Well, that sounds legitimate.
That is I think that's a legitimate story.
I would
have it.
Yeah, it was. They originally they were stationed in Verona. They moved in Vicenza, and they've been there ever since. Now it's the 173rd, I believe.
It's the 173rd, yes.
Yeah. So, we wore the food line patch.
Oh yeah,
back then.
The food line.
Yeah.
All right. For those of you that don't know, you get your military patch, and usually they come with a variety of mocking nicknames. Like I was in the 9th ID, which was called the Flaming Asshole.
Then there was the Broken TV.
Yeah, the Jumping Jews.
The Jumping Jews out of Alaska.
Yeah, Walker was in that unit.
Yeah, the Broken TV was out of Georgia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you had the Electric Pineapple out of Panama, right? Or California?
I think it was California, Fort Ord.
Yeah, the Electric Pineapple.
You had the 7th ID down there, the Widowmakers.
Yeah, and then the AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, which is the 87th.
Oh, yeah. Listen, and that totally... Listen, I have jumped with the 82nd Airborne Division when I was in the regiment and I was pay hurt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you ever watch Lord of the Rings, the 82nd Airborne are the orcs.
They literally are.
Right, now, listen, I show up. I go through the pre-jump, and I just get assigned randomly to just it's 2 squads in the 82nd Airborne. I get filtered in the middle. They don't know me from Adam, other than the fact I'm wearing, a 2nd Ranger Battalion scratch. Like, oh yeah, you're from the regiment. You think you're all that in a bag of chips? We'll see about that.
They were jealous.
Yeah. They risked their goddamn lives to screw with me. Like, literally, we're going for the door, and the guy, like, stops, waits till the light goes red, which we're not supposed to jump. He goes out, and then 4 guys behind me push me out the door. So I am, like, nowhere over the drop zone. I'm like, this is how Pop dies. I barely made it onto the drop zone. And the second time I jumped with those guys, I'm literally, my chute opens. I'm like, okay, everything's cool. And then this one guy turns and just comes right at me. And I'm like, slip away! Slip away! Hey! Literally puts his legs up, karate kicks me in the reserve parachute, and then slips away. Knocked the wind out. He hit me like at, I don't know, 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Knocked the wind out of me.
I wasn't anywhere near, and I never suffered the enjoyment of airborne karate.
Airport karate. Guy said 1975 says, "Remember the mad shitter."
I remember the mad shitter.
I knew who that was too in Iraq. We had a guy. Well, first of all,
it's the 13th COSCOM unit patch. It's called the Exploding Asshole.
Yeah,
Exploding Asshole.
I just posted it.
Yeah, we got a lot of vets who watch the show. We got a lot of guys who are currently who watch the show.
Could you imagine a gay bar called the Exploding Asshole?
Woo! Here's another thing. We got actual alphabet agency guys who watch this show for enjoyment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
And we got a couple of emails like, I'm not going to say where I work, but I watch your shit on the regular, and it's awesome.
Well, where I work in Florida, I got a bunch of the pilots that are watching the show live right now. So they're going to probably put some real coarse stuff in.
They're going to give you all kinds of shit, I'm sure.
It's all good.
I'll suffer when I get back to God's waiting room here next week.
God's waiting room.
They're also curious as far as how did I get the name Dick Fitzwell until I showed them the video from 3 years ago when I first came on
your
the
first
show.
appearance. You told
go through it again because
it was just all a matter of the name tag switch, and they were pretty much rather impressed. Like, but where did you get the name Dick Fitzwell? Well, to pop Pandora's box open on that one. Working at the prison, and we always would have these golf outing signups. And I saw the list right there at the time clock, and somebody wrote in Dick Fitzwell. So that's where I got
It's actually name. Richard Fitzwell.
It's Richard Fitzwell. But that's where I got the name. I took it from the so-called prank. They pranked the golf outing list for the correctional officers at that time, and somebody wrote in Dick Fitzwell, so I stole the name, and I just took it. Nobody's checked me since that point, so I just accepted the fact that. Then once I started using it in the Air Force and then around the squadron, especially in Puerto Rico, it started to become more of a custom for me to use that name whenever shit needed to be acquired.
I had something similar. Last name Ascon. First name Harry. I'd sign up like Harry Ascon. You get the sergeant major. All right. Who's this Harry Ascon? Last 41121. Nobody? Oh, the fun and games are going to ensue.
Holding the groin?
Never prank a sergeant major because he will.
They get pretty mad at you.
Yeah, they make you pay in pain and suffering.
Yeah. Listen, I've been fortunate. I've had really good sergeant majors when I was in the combat arms.
We had one in the 325 we called the Antichrist.
Mm-hmm. Like one of the best ones was Sergeant Major Leon Guerrero from the regiment. And he is one of the reasons why I was able to get in the Ranger Battalion.
Yeah, because he was right there where he signed you in.
Well, I called him on the phone after trying for 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I called during business hours, I'm like, I need to talk to Sergeant Major. And like, who is this? This is Private Pop. Fuck you, leg. And they would hang up. So I'm like 2 or 3 days out from going to airborne school. I'm already on levy to go to Korea because I pissed off everyone in the 9th ID. Walking by the bank of phones, and it's 5:30, 6:45, 6 o'clock. And I'm like, I'll just try. I put in my quarter. Boop, 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 boop. I call headquarters. And Sergeant Major Leon Guerrero answers the phone. And I'm like, Sergeant Major, I've been trying to get hold of you. I need to get an interview. I'm going to airborne school. And he goes, well, yeah, we're going on deployment tomorrow, so can you get here? I'm like, yeah, okay. I hang up the phone. I don't have a car. I literally just got done eating. I am 2.5 miles away.
Yeah.
It's on the other side of the airfield.
That's what we called OSB, other side of base.
Yeah. I run the entire way in full BDUs and boots. Boom, boom, boom. Run around. I run into headquarters. I'm like, I need to talk to our major. And he goes, well, you just missed him. He walked out to the parking lot. I'm like, oh, shit. So I run out there. He's literally putting the key into his car when I run up on him. Scared the shit out of him. He's like, and I'm like, Sergeant Major, I had to talk to you on the phone. And he's just like, oh, Ranger, where did you come from? And I'm like, I point, I'm like, night ID over there. And the first thing he does, he looks at his watch, sees that I ran like 2.5 miles in like 15, 16 minutes. Doesn't ask me a goddamn question. He's like, oh, Ranger, follow me. We walk back into PAC, and he's like, your name? He typed up the memo himself, and he's like, you are in the Ranger Battalion. And
just that simple.
Just that simple.
And how many 4187s did you had to
3.
submit?
I did 3 4187s that 9th ID threw in the trash can, and I fucking pissed off the entire chain of command when I dropped a dime on them. And the only reason I got the airborne school is because Command Sergeant Major Kidd, who later became Sergeant Major of the Army, I was a driver for him for like 3 or 4 weeks. He knew my face, he knew my name. So when it came up at I-Corps, the son of a bitch dropped a dime, and he's like, I know that guy. He's like, looked at some sec lieutenant who failed out of airborne school. He goes, I'm taking your airborne slot. I'm giving it to this guy. And this other guy named Lewis, too. So we're like the only 2 enlisted guys to go to airborne school out of 9th ID since the cease of hostilities in Vietnam.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That guy was fucking awesome.
Because it wasn't on the 9th ID MTO, but you still got to go to
well, they would send officers, retreads, guys who fucked up, or you know.
I only knew of 2 officers in Italy that didn't pass.
Yeah,
get through Ranger School after their initial indoc for officer candidate.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 out, and they got QMP'd right out.
Right out of the gate.
Well, it was shortly after when we went to Northern Iraq that the 2 officers were saying, well, you're summarily, you've been QMP'd.
Yeah.
So you're under the quality management program. You didn't make Ranger School, so you're not an effective leader. Get the fuck out.
Yeah. Did you ever have an officer that just his I don't give a fuck light was on?
Yes.
Oh, those are the best.
He went, and then that officer went Special Forces.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's all I knew, because he was just straight up didn't give a shit.
In 9th ID. And we're always like going to meetings and getting all these fucking memos and have to sign shit. And he just went in the Army. He went to OCS, went in the Army so they would pay for his, he was an engineer, wound up in the infantry, totally hated it. And he was the officer who would sign stuff with his penis. He would take it out, stamp it on the ink thing, put a blot wherever his signature was, give that to the commander. I remember I'm his RTO, and I literally, that's the radio guy. So you're connected to the officer at the hip, and it totally it's a
literal dick move.
So his name was Commander Reich. 6'2", this real deep voice, and he was like, he's a ring knocker.
Oh, real long briefings and AARs.
Yeah,
so
I give it to him.
Torturous.
He's like, Pop, what? This is not his signature. I'm like, no, he stamped it with his penis. You get him in here right now.
At least it wasn't a scratch and sniff. That would be bad.
I only knew of this one captain that would sometimes he'd do AARs, and he'd just put on his best John Wayne impersonation for some fucking reason. But
you got to make it entertaining.
But he ended up going Delta Force.
Really?
Yeah, because we saw him getting walked. He was being walked by 2 MPs with his file to battalion, and it's like,
is he in trouble?
Is he in trouble? And they're like, don't ask questions. And then that's when some fucking E7 goes, no, he was a Delta Select.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I never made it to Delta.
Kirk, remember Kirk? We've talked about Paul Kirk,
The
Captain
caveman.
the caveman.
First of all, if he's watching the show, we love you, man.
Mm-hmm.
But you are a savage bastard, and I was honored to serve next to you. I truly was.
You're a hell of a mentor, Kirk. You're a freaking beast. But
it's not
he was telling me when he interviewed for Delta, they would put him to the box, basically a lie detector test.
Oh yeah.
So 4-hour-long detector test. He had those guys laughing because apparently of all the bullshit.
Yeah.
His stories and stuff. Like we were talking about him last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kirk was a savage as a civilian too, because he worked as a bouncer up on 4th Street in Royal Oak, and he single-handedly took out the Detroit Viper minor league hockey team.
Yeah.
That was an impressive. Yes,
I was not there. I heard the story.
Me and Pete were there.
Yeah.
So because
he like absorbed like a half a dozen punches.
Well, the captain, what it was is the captain of the team at that time was talking big shit to a lot of the other clientele, and he starts stealing their chicks. So dudes are getting pissed, and bouncers naturally got to keep a cap and everything. So it's like, we got to de-escalate the situation. Let's send Paul in. That's the worst person to de-escalate the situation.
No, he's not that man.
No. So Paul pretty much says, quit stealing their chicks. Quit fucking around. And well, they said, what are you going to do about it? And the captain of the team kicked Paul in the chest. Now, Paul's a pretty big fucking guy. Back then, he was
5'8".
5'8".
He weighed 237 pounds.
5% body fat.
5% body.
Yeah, Hitman was just.
He benched 550.
Mm-hmm. Well, Paul punched this guy so hard in the dick, you saw the sonic boom of the gases expanding at that point. And this guy folded like a cheap suit. So, and then the rest of the team were like still in awe and shock, like, oh, he's going to do that to us. So he grabbed the guy by the cuff of his pants and dragging him out by the leg. And now the other two, these big bouncers just come right from the door to cover Paul's 6. And I'm watching this guy getting dragged out, and I'm seeing his head just doing this.
He was out.
I mean, he punched him that hard. I mean,
passed out.
I'd imagine pain didn't even register to his brain yet, because it was just, you could hear it. And eventually the whole team went outside. We didn't know the verbal exchange as far as what happened, but they never came back.
Well, first of all, he did wind up marking up about 5 or 6 guys in the team.
Yeah.
Because they ran up on him and tried to fight him. And he's like, literally, from what I've heard from himself, he told me the story, he just like swatted them away. He's like a miniature Hulk.
Yeah.
And then the next day or a couple days later, the Vipers send an apology letter to the actual establishment.
Yeah, because that was their hangout. That was their thing after.
And he wound up doing like 13 tours in the Special Forces, and it took a horrible toll on his mind, body, and spirit. He's still around. Yeah. But
I'm not going to get too lengthy into the story.
I need to look him up, and we need to have some beers.
Yeah,
it's been.
I'm not going to get too lengthy into the story, but he got jumped by 2 guys in Royal Oak. He was going out to his truck.
Yep.
And he cut one of the guys' noses off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a buckle blade. He just pulled it out, and I saw him just go. This guy goes nose just like this. Blood.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah. The other guy eventually went, oh fuck! And Paul was coming after him with this.
The punch knife.
Yeah, punch knife. And Paul is not let's just put it this way.
Yeah.
When Paul gets focused and you're the target,
you're done.
You're doomed.
No, I will say this with Kirk. When I was fighting in the tough man competitions, I would call Kirk to spar, because you're going to fight guys like that in the tough man, just total roid-headed, crushing, powerful guys. And he would bring in 4 or 5 guys that worked as bouncers at the asylum, and I would fight them all in the ring. Yeah. In the ring is totally different.
Yeah.
In the street, there's no way I would fuck with that guy.
Yeah, you don't. Paul in his prime.
Oh no,
was a monster, and I saw him again. I was Air Force at the time, and I saw him again in Bagram and Cap Vance, and how he was living with third group. It was amazing. Yeah. Just what these third group guys would pull. They would get groupies. Every base has groupies. They got Ranger groupies, and then you got Sugar Fairy groupies. And just the amount of girls that they had inside Vance.
Now, first of all, it's called groupies or free pussy.
Yeah, it's
That's just what it is.
Yeah. So they would have
no pussies free, Pop. You know that.
Well, with the exception, these guys naturally would all put on the Don Juan, and as soon as they would like deploy home, and then I imagine the girls looked them up, but they'd like, have nothing to do with them because they'd be back with their wives or their so-called ex-wives at that point in time.
Usually it's an ex-wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you figure he did 13 deployments, and don't you think you'd be living on top of the world because you just have to suppress all of that pain?
Yeah. Well, first of all, he's an absolute savage killer.
He is a beast.
Yeah.
He built my rifle.
Yeah, I've heard. He's told me some of the stories, man. And listen, I was in special forces, but not much was going on when I was in. I know I deployed with the 425. I saw my share of action, and I'm cool with what I was involved in, but I really don't know what I would be if I had done that many combat deployments, because listen, you are literally walking hand in hand with death and evil, and you can only spend so much time in their presence before it corrupts you. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked to a lot of Vietnam vets who did like 2, 3, 4 fucking tours, and they were all, cooked and booked.
Yeah. Another thing about Kirk, he was disproportionately birthed. I mean, his arms were asymmetric to the rest of his body.
Yeah, I had to drag him out of the jungle when
I remember that.
He almost heat stroked out.
Yeah, because I remember that hearing behind me going, "Ugh, man, I don't feel so good." I'm like, what's up, Paul? Man, what the fuck? Ugh. He just dropped straight to the ground in the jungle, and he's just like, and he's all curled into a ball,
and he's yelling, "Kill me!"
Yeah. So
yes,
yeah, the team we had to lay down on him, and I had the unfortunate pleasure of trying to force rehydration solution into his mouth. It was all that dry powder and all in between puffs of air, and me pouring that solution into his mouth. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah,
fucking swallow it, dude. And we'd pour water on him. I mean, he took He took a third of our water.
Phrasing. He drank all of his water. He drank
swallow it, dude.
He drank my water, and then he finally went down. And then we had that lieutenant colonel from the 125 infantry.
He freaked out.
He's like, he's gonna die. We gotta get a jungle penetrator.
And there, you're doing the in between the panic. You're like, no, sir, we got this.
I'm like, it's all good.
Is the jungle penetrator just down the road from the exploding asshole?
No, it's actually a metal cage they drop through the jungle.
It's a big metal. It's on the end of a cable, and it's winched down from the helicopter, and it's heavy enough to get through the branches. That's why they call it a jungle penetrator.
Yeah.
And you kick out these legs to sit on it, and you grasp it like this, or you got to strap the person to it.
Yeah, and they pull them back.
And then you get extracted back up, but you're pulled right through the shit again.
Yeah.
So, and
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Marty.
So
strap a person to a jungle penetrator so you can pull them through the shit.
But
you know what?
They can go and drink at the
Your imagination takes you to some really dark places here, Blake.
But
You're paying attention.
Here's the thing. The jungle in Panama, it gets darker than 3 feet up a well digger's ass by 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
you
would
know.
Canopy jungle.
So he literally goes down about noon, and we're taking care of him. We're trying to get radio comms. We can't. We have him drink like 5 or 6 quarts of water.
He was drinking a lot of water even before we went into the jungle.
He had the oral rehydration powder. We gave him a main meal of an MRE, and then they're like, "Well, Pop, he's your friend. You got to carry him out." I'm like, "Fuck."
You tied him off, and
I
you were
tied a rope
running
to
up
him.
to a tree, grabbing it, and Kirk's pulling him up himself with a rope.
Literally, and we were 400 meters from a road.
Mm-hmm.
We started walking towards this road roughly 4 o'clock, and it took us until 10:30 p.m. to make it to the road. And
That colonel was just in a panic the whole time because he's like,
he was freaking out.
We need to bust out the radio. We got to make a call. We got to get this guy medevaced out. And you're like, "Nah, he's fine.
He'll be fine.
You'll be fine." And Paul's like, "Don't you make that fucking call. I'll fucking kill you."
That's exactly how he was. So we get him out of the jungle, they pick him up and they drive him to the aid station, and we get a ride back to the barracks. Now, Kirk was in the aid station for a day, and he literally took 3 liters of fluid.
Yeah, they had 3 IVs in him.
Yeah, before he started pissing. And then they kept him on bed rest for another 24 hours.
They waited until he had a bowel movement, was to say, okay, he's rehydrated. And then the colonel must have ratted him out, because our chain of command came back with saying, we're going to Article 15 him because he got dehydrated in the field. That man was drinking water as soon as we got off the plane, because the only thing he'd say is, oh, fuck.
I remember that. And I
forgot
talked to the chain of command, and I'm like, well, we didn't have our 3 days of acclimatization. We landed like yesterday, and we're in the field today.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, because that host group we were with were eager to get us into the field, and it was like, well, fuck, we need at least 72 hours to plan. And no. So
you guys are alerts, you're professionals, figure it out.
Acclimatizing is a crutch.
Like, when you show up to because this happened at Jungle Warfare School, you're supposed to get like this 12-hour or 2 6-hour blocks of instruction on the jungle, the dangers of the jungle.
It was what not to fuck with in the jungle.
It was 4 hours long, and it was like we were getting the briefing from a auctioneer. This is an alligator, bite your leg off, don't fuck with this. This piranha's in somebody's water, so be careful with your crosshair. This is a deadly worm. This is black palm. Red ants will fuck you up. Watch out for killer bees because they're everywhere. And we're like, what? So we didn't really know what was going on.
Who was it that climbed that dead tree to get a better view, and an ant started to swarm him?
I don't remember. But
because he came sliding down. He's on fire because he was.
It was all over his arms. He's like, ah!
It was all over his body.
And we're like, well, yeah, you shouldn't climb the tree, man.
They should have climbed the tree, dumbass. Why did you guys fucking tell me? It's entertaining.
What are you going to do? I mean, you're like, hey,
well, the thing is pain always looks good on somebody else, Blake.
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's why those fail channels do gangbusters.
Yeah, they do.
True. Some of the stuff that we have shown on this show, man. Oof. You missed the poor Asian Olympian last week who broke both of her legs trying to stick the landing. That was.
I don't want to see that.
Somebody dropped a chat. Welcome to Australia, where everything tries to end you.
That's true. We got a few chats here I can read off if you like. Take a little break here. Not a band account. Can adjusting generous vet benefits fix the budget? He's our resident troll.
Okay.
Actually, let's just go into this.
Why don't we adjust Congress's pensions instead?
Well, no, hang on. No. Let's just be honest. If you are going to allow the military-industrial complex to wage these endless fucking wars and keep the war machine moving, you have to take care of the veterans that you send to do this shit. Period.
Yep.
Especially if you want to maintain a volunteer army, you're going to have to take care of the veterans, because the minute you don't, you're going to stop getting people volunteering, in which they already are, in my opinion.
Oh, no, it's not like they haven't met their recruiting goals.
Well, with Trump coming in, I imagine there's going to be some recruitment surge.
Well, but the thing is they made their recruiting goals this year because they lowered the standards.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
I haven't paid any attention to any of that, because once I started to hear about them lowering the standards, and the 2 women that got it through Ranger School.
More than 2.
Well, how they were hand carried through the whole event was just that right there. I mean, the news made it into some worldwide empowering event, and then you got the inside info on it, and it was like, no. It was all a big PR rip, and it was rather disgusting. If women want to get into Rangers, go through Ranger School, then you have to meet the standard like every other Joe in there. The bottom line, okay?
You would think.
Well, you would think, but the only thing that was equal in the Army at that time was not even promotions. I heard, you even told me that promotions were rather askewed.
Well, yeah, when I got to, now listen, special forces, when the guys get old, they get sent to civil affairs. Civil affairs is where Green Berets go to die.
Oh, that's dinosaur country for Green Berets?
So, yeah, I got sent to civil affairs, and the Army took care of me. I rode a desk for a decade. Actually, like a decade and some change. But I watched some of these female soldiers get promoted and they would barely pass height and weight, barely pass PT, and they were getting promoted over, hard charging dudes that had CIBs, airborne, air assault. And I literally lost dozens of dudes that said, I'm getting out. This is stupid. And these females that were promoted like that were absolutely useless.
Yeah.
They were incompetent. They were not ready to lead. And it was just an absolute shit show.
Yeah.
Well, it's the unintended consequence of DEI hires is that anybody who achieves something through this system of hand holding and eggshell walking, sooner or later it's like the imposter syndrome's got to set in hard.
Yeah, and when I was stationed in Southfield, I got targeted by Lieutenant Colonel Dina, I'm not going to use her full name, because I had filled out something like 8 separation packets on female soldiers who kept failing height, weight, and PT. And she called me and like, you're targeting these people, and this is an EO and sexual harassment. I'm like, ma'am, the regulations are the regulations. You fail it twice, I start a packet, and I'm not doing anything I haven't done to the male soldier.
It was the same thing in the Air Force.
Yeah.
If they couldn't pass 3, you're out.
Yeah. In the Army, it's 2.
Yeah.
Or it used to be 2. I don't know what it is now. But it is what it is. And I would give people the benefit of the doubt. I would literally call in a soldier, put them on long tour orders for like 12 days, which is 5 days with a weekend and another 5 days.
Yeah.
And I would have them take a PT test every other day until they passed. It's a pain in the ass. And there's quite a few guys out there who are now retired who got the benefit of the doubt from the popster. And there's like 3 or 4 female soldiers that had to do the same thing.
Yeah. Well,
it's like, yeah.
If they wanted to keep their career, embrace it.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. The regulations are the regulations.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the Ranger School thing.
Yeah.
I've literally talked to about half a dozen RIs who watch this show who told me straight up that they watered down the standard and they basically handheld and diapered these female Rangers who made it through Ranger School.
Nobody knows the true story. Only those that were there were obviously.
Well, here's the thing is you can go to the Ranger School with my social security number and they will still have those little patrol books.
Yeah.
Either on microfiche or hard copy.
Yeah.
The female Rangers, those are gone. They're not there.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? There's some shagnanigans going on. That's just,
it is
my
what it
opinion
is.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Everybody's getting fucked, just not in a good way.
Well, you shouldn't have to worry about it. It's not your problem because you're retired and you're out.
Like when I went to Ranger School, bro, oh my God.
I know you hated it. You hate your RIs to this day.
I hate their guts. I hope I never run into them.
Well, he does have a good story about the drive-by feeding.
Oh,
The drive-by feeding.
yeah, that was. And listen now, let's be honest. That was 3rd Ranger Battalion doing that. I was not involved. I just happened to be standing there.
Well, yeah, because
they threw the food over the fence.
Yeah, it was like, you owe me a fucking favor. And it was, yeah. Food starts flying over the fence and all these guys start running out from the barracks. And shortly after you ate, I mean, you're just stuffing all sorts of rot gut in your mouth. And it was like, oh, I better go brush my teeth. And before you know it, the RIs came out and it's like, formation. And it's like, open your fucking suck. And they're fucking going over the flashlight.
I literally I had maybe 4 minutes. I drank like 2 or 3 Pepsis. I ate like 4 or 5 Hostess cakes of some type.
You figure your
they were ding dongs, be honest.
Your stomach's about that big, and then that whole night you're going to have nothing but indigestion.
Here's the thing: you are so hungry, that when the food appears, there is no thought process. You're like, oh, I must eat, And then after, I'm like, wait a minute.
This
I better
battery.
brush my teeth. I'm going to get screwed. So I went in there. Well,
Yeah, his spidey senses were tingling.
I've always had that.
Yes,
The spidey sense. You've been
they worked in the 425 because you would just go, something's not right.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing that. Yeah. Well, there was a time when we were doing PT and a guy named Pete Meyer, he blew his shoulder out. So, fine. He gets him to the hospital, and naturally the doctor's like, what did the doctor say?
The doctor's like, well, we're going to take him down to the Madigan Army Hospital, and they're going to do surgery and fix him up. And I'm like, no, you're not. He's a National Guard guy. He's going to go back to Michigan, and we're going to get surgeons who fix the Red Wings to hook him up. I don't want any C-plus doctors cutting on him. I'm like, well, Sergeant, it's none of your goddamn business and what we decide to do. I'm like, okay, cut on him, and there will be dire fucking consequences.
Well, didn't you add I'm not getting a warm fuzzy?
Yeah.
Yeah. To a doctor. Yeah. To a doctor, it says, I'm just not getting a warm fuzzy here, sir. Just understand. We're going to get him back to Michigan.
And which we did.
Yeah.
And he's totally functional today. He's got a nice scar. He was a little mad at me because I was trying to put his arm back in the socket, and he was going into shock. And I remember his face is like ashen pale. His lips are going blue, and he's looking up at me, and I'm like pulling on his arm, trying to get back socket. And he's like, "I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah. You ever seen somebody just sweat so much from pain?
Yeah.
Like that was Pete. I mean, he was literally just ashen and sweating from pain. And the look on his face, and just in between the just all of those freaking pain surges, every time he just tried to move his arm, he's like, "I will fucking kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Stop doing that."
I felt terrible, man. I felt terrible.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, but it's just being at the time, once somebody goes down, we immediately think that we're all a surgeon and we can just triage them on the spot. Oh, you'll be fine. You're okay. Throw some Motrin on them. It's like, have a nice day.
Motrin and water.
No,
Motrin and water.
He was beyond that.
No, he
Walk
was.
it off.
Yeah.
I remember they put this big piece of foam under his armpit, and then strapped it down so it would maintain a space.
Yeah.
And then had his whole arm just duct taped to his body.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he stayed with us for until the end of the deployment, which was 8 days later.
Yeah.
And then we get him back to Detroit, and
because it was out in Spokane.
Yeah. And I had to actually, because he was going through his divorce, he went and had a surgery. And I remember I came by to check on him, and he sits down. He's got his Percocet, a couple sodas. I bought him a Tubby's submarine to eat. And I come back the next day. He ate half the sub, hadn't moved.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's it. You're coming to my house. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
And he stayed at my house for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
We got him hooked up.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? He took it like a champ.
He's not the only one. I mean, I had to sew guys up in the field.
Yeah.
I did it with dental floss. They were not happy about it.
No, they were not. That the scars are a certain story to talk about. I had my platoon sergeant sew this up and failed.
It was nice.
Was he blind?
No, this was actually in the regiment.
Dyslexorcist.
And we jump in, and this one guy landed on a picket. There used to be a barbed wire fence.
Yeah.
And he had this laceration. It was looked like a hockey stick right between his shoulder blades, near his spine. In the jungle, that'll get infected like that. You cannot leave an open wound like that. So we're trying to get him, we're, again, no comms. We can't get anybody because that's just the way it works. Back then, the Army radio sucked. And I'm like, well, we got 2 choices. We sew you up or, we sew you up. And he's like, I'm like, just shut the fuck up. I'm trying to remember if it was spearmint or cinnamon flavored dental floss. I think it was cinnamon.
You asshole.
Well, that's all I had.
Oh.
Dental floss is a really good sweetener. Just don't have flavored dental floss. So I get him stitched up. He's fine. we download his rucksack. All he has to do is carry his LBE. We got a bandage on it. We're fine. We Charlie Mike with the mission.
Yeah.
5 days later, we make it to the LZ. We get picked up by the Black Hawk. And as soon as we land, he runs right to the aid station. And he's just like, I need these stitches replaced. They're like, they're fine. It's not infected. The wound is closing up. You're just going to have some red dots from the cinnamon flavored dental floss. And sure as shit, he had red dots where the stitches.
Well, it almost kind of segues into some of the prison triage I had to do in mental health. Yeah, those fucked up incidences that still leave kind of a thought and a like damn moment to think about.
I gotta. We were talking about the ER and the stupid ER.
Yeah,
we're gonna make that a comedy skit. Yeah. That's got to be.
We were talking about it last night because it was just some of the med runs I'd have to do for prisoners. And I'm sure some of your viewers out there who are probably correctional officers or police officers who had to take a knucklehead from the jail to the hospital for some dumb shit that they thought that would let them stay long-term in the hospital, which wasn't necessarily true. Towards the tail end of my career in corrections, I worked for prisoner patient mental health. And that in itself was just, it was an adventure. And anyways, I had this one particular prisoner who was a picker, and he'd pick at his abdomen constantly. And there are points where he actually would break open the skin and get to the muscle wall. But this guy, I guess he had some extra time overnight. And after doing my round, I came to his isolation cell. And his back is to me, and I said, hey, what's up? I'm not going to drop his name because they're probably going to look him up on the Otis system. Offender tracker information system. For those guys who are in Michigan, they know. So he turns around and he reached in like this and pushed out all of his intestines.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I'm still get kind of like, I'm standing there literally shocked, and he just falls straight to the ground. And I'm like, I need a nurse. I was like, I need a fucking nurse to come to the fucking cell door. And actually it's just like straight in the morning. We're not even through our first cup of coffee. All right. Not even done with the first initial rounds. And nurse comes up there and she's like, what's wrong? And I'm in the cell and I'm packing his guts back in. And I got the pillow to put over it. And I said, I need some cloth tape and some gauze. And I'm just going through it very autonomous. What are you doing? I'm packing his guts back in his abdominal cavity. Yeah. And they're like, she freaks the fuck out. A trained nurse. And she's just like, oh my God. And so all the officers run up there and they're like, what the fuck's going on? And
everyone has to look.
Yes, there is the Gawker moment where as correctional officers were like this.
So basically how I'm looking right now.
Now, mind you, anybody out there that has worked mental health know that some of these guys have such an extraordinarily high pain tolerance that it is inhuman. I had another incident where a guy ate a light bulb, a whole fluorescent light bulb, those long ones. And then I had another particular one.
Pops X did that as a party trick.
Yeah. And another guy that ate the complete electrical socket plus plate in his cell. How he worked it free, I don't know to this day. I asked him, Howard, how the fuck did you do that? And the guy, the x-ray tech, when I took him there and there at the to the aid station in the joint, and I told the x-ray tech he ate an entire electrical socket plus the plate and the screws, and I have to account for every single piece if we can see it on the x-ray. Well, he bent the plate, the face plate on it, and he swallowed it. He had pica, so naturally a mental disorder, but he ate the switch, the screws, and the plate. It was all in his gut. And then when I bet the x-ray tech $20 that he ate the whole thing because he didn't believe me, and sure as shit. Then I told the shift captain about it, he's like, no fucking way. And I'm like, yeah, $20 says the whole thing. And he's like, bet. when he saw the X-rays, he was good on his word. He gave me $20. But then I took him to the hospital, and then when I showed the doc the X-rays and they saw everything, and the doc's looking at me like, how in the fuck does this shit fucking happen? I don't fucking know. So he does the surgery, and I'm in the OR because I had to be in there as an officer with the prisoner at all times. And then the doc had his gut spread open, and he's like, come on over here. I'm like, okay, so what's the inventory? 4 face screws, face plate, and 2 switches. And he's pulling them all out. We're dropping them right in the tray. And I'm like, yep, got everything. And he sewed them right back up. And he says, this man will never have a normal diet for his entire life again. Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Okay. Now, I know this is going to be a little on the harsh side. But if you are that mentally fucked, why are we using all of this tax money to keep that guy alive? I mean, especially if you're going to hurt yourself like that.
Well, that is a very good question for the next budget committee for the state Senate to figure it out for itself.
I mean, literally, if you hurt yourself to that extent.
Well, now the state of Michigan is actually paying for gender transition surgeries.
That's awesome.
For prisoners.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Yep. Yeah,
Wow.
Your tax dollars are going towards here in Michigan. I don't live in this state, but you voted for it. You deserve it, Michigan. And sure as shit, the Director of Corrections is authorizing gender transition surgeries for prisoners for the state of Michigan.
I'm pretty sure we didn't vote for that. If you actually take a look at the how the voting has gone in the last couple of elections,
yeah,
it's a little off.
A little off.
None of it makes any sense.
Yeah. Now you're getting a slew of chats. I didn't vote for the witch.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Yeah. Did not vote for the witch.
I mean,
vote for the witch.
There were just so many crazy things that I saw as far as medical wise for these prisoners and what the state would pay for that you as a civilian could possibly, naturally would get denied. Prisoners would get a full blown, double bypass surgery, full blown cancer treatment. It's amazing what the state pays and puts forward towards prisoners, more as opposed to what your own insurance policy won't cover, but a prisoner will receive on the state budget because they're considered wards of the state. I mean, it's exceedingly.
Look, I understand.
Yeah.
Now, again, you should not be able to get elective surgeries on taxpayer dime.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're necessary, okay, got it.
Yeah.
But if you harm yourself to that level, I'm sorry you have a mental illness. I'm sorry that happened to you, but it's self-inflicted.
Yeah.
If it requires more than like basic stuff,
well,
I don't want to pay for it.
This will be the last one I'll tell. All right. I didn't see this one. All I heard was the sound effects, and then I saw the officer pretty much pass out. We had this one mental health prisoner. He was small, but he had retard strength. I'm talking to capitalize on the retard strength.
I've seen that before. It's
okay.
kind of scary.
He went into his cell. He cracked his cell window, which is a pretty thick wire mesh piece of glass. And the female officer who was up there came around, and she said descriptively that he was holding both of his testicles in his hands like this and says, send me to the fucking hospital.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
As now we rolled the door open, she literally is like, can't keep her footing. So we rush up there, and he walks out of his cell with both of his nuts in his fucking hand. Yeah. Hey, state of Michigan, you're paying for it. Yeah, that is how severe the mental health is. So those that know, who are in the chats, who have seen something like this, by all means, express yourselves, because they're big fish stories. But anybody that's been a correctional officer, especially at Macomb, that's turned into a literal fucking shithole of a prison.
Stand by.
All right.
Wayne County is fucking horrible.
I'm sure the one guy we know could tell us some stories about Wayne County.
Yes. Well, we had a guy on the show who literally spent 4+ years in Wayne County, and he wasn't even, I think it took 1.5 years to get him arraigned. And then he was there for a little over 4 years before he got a trial.
Didn't you have him on the show? Didn't he phone in?
He was on the show. I still talk to him on the regular.
Yeah.
And granted, he he made some bad decisions,
But he wouldn't take the guilty plea for something he didn't do, right?
Well, they found him guilty.
Well, they found him guilty.
Well,
Right.
because the judge denied him like 3 different defenses.
Really?
Yeah. So it was guaranteed that he'd get it. He's appealing it now, so we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But that is actually becoming more and more common across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Now, under our Constitution, you're supposed to get a speedy trial and, X, Y, and Z. And when that breaks down, you're going to have the the general population go, we're not going to participate in this.
Yeah.
I'm not going with you.
Well, I've said this before. A huge, huge chunk of the authority, the powers that be wield, depends directly upon our cooperation.
Correct.
Yeah.
You have to actually recognize authority for it to actually be authoritative. So I'm just saying,
There's a guy on YouTube that has a 4-hour class on Know Your Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually very, 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 very detailed, very comprehensive class.
I think I watched some of his stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
It comes across my feed from time to time.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, just alone, as far as what I thought I saw was messed up in the Army, and then I worked corrections for 20 years, and then I see what happens, what prisoners just do to themselves to go to the hospital so they just don't have to spend time in their cell. Was what they would do to their bodies, especially in mental health. It was the pain that they just.
I have no idea how they can actually do that shit.
But you know what? To function at that level on a daily basis,
I can do it.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm sure you saw a lot of the like violence in there too, didn't you?
On the average, towards before I retired, I got into a fight just about every day. Yeah, it was a fight on the average every day. So it was like 5 a week.
All right, stand by. There was a reason why his nickname at the unit was Contusion, because he would come in all tore up all the time.
I looked for fights in the joint. I would look for fights. I'd come in on drill. My glasses would be all fucking broken and urkled with the fucking tape in the middle. And I'd have a swollen face on one side, or I would be able to talk because I got a swollen jaw or a fat lip for some reason. Or I brought it upon myself, really. One of those so-called, I was just one of those superficial tough guys.
We all were.
Yeah. But when it came down to the tail end of things, and then just some of the fights that we were getting more fights. We're getting in more fights with the prison that just got out of juvie, who are now going to complete their adult sentences. They're the guys that would always talk big shit.
Yeah.
And they would pony up. I had to give them the respect because they didn't turn into the cell gangster yet, but usually they would just start bumping their gums. They'd run their cock holster 24/7. And I would tell them, like, look, somebody in here is really going to turn you out. I'm not talking in a good way.
No.
And it's like, yeah, I'd like to see that motherfucker try. Well, next morning he's got to go to healthcare because he's holding his asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, he got cut in the face. The worst thing I would see in there is when the Mexican gangs would cut you. They call it a $150. It's where one guy taps you on the shoulder, cuts this side of the face, and then you turn and another guy cuts you on the other side of the face. And the reason why it's a $150 because it takes 150 stitches to close it up.
Wow.
Yep. So that was just the warning shot to let you know you owe us money. And then what they would do after the fact, I never saw the end result because usually that was a fair enough warning for you to make sure you pay up your debt.
That's right. I know quite a few guys that actually did serious time. And basically what they would say is, mind your business. Don't fucking narc. All right. If somebody steps you, you have to fight.
Yep.
If you can live by those 3 commandments, all right, and you're pretty much going to be okay.
Yeah.
And you don't get into debt.
Nope. Never gamble.
Don't gamble. Don't screw with the drugs. None of that shit.
Yep. But that was the one thing. Do not gamble with the Muslim gangs. Because if you're white and if you sat at the table to play cards with those guys, and if you lost and owed money, you guarantee you the next day, or if not the next store day, you had to pay up with interest. And the interest was usually pretty steep. Either you were fucking or fighting if you were not be able to pay up your debt.
Yeah.
So we saw, we'd see some of that. We'd see the extortion and stuff. I mean, those were just prison rules. That's just how it worked. Okay. Yeah. We as officers, we were just fly on the wall. We were this third party observation to it all. Sometimes we just get a chuckle out of it. Be like, quit fucking gambling with the wrong crew.
Yeah.
But there's this one particular prisoner I had. He was allegedly a mafia hitman. And we would talk Italian on the yard a few times so I can just kind of keep it going. Well, these two Muslim gangsters came up to him, young soldiers. And he said, "You owe rent, old man. Give us that cross." But he had a gold necklace with the cross that his mom gave him, and his mom passed away.
Uh-huh.
So he tells me in his best English, he goes, "You want to learn something?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I was just a new officer at the time. The Muslim hierarchy always hung out towards the back near the basketball courts. That's where you had, I wouldn't say the grand sheik, but you had a sheik, sergeant of arms, a lieutenant, and a few of the other lackeys that would hang at the tables. It was the Nation of Islam, it was the Melanics, and it was the Moabites. And they ran the drugs, they ran the pimping, they ran it all. All right. So this Italian prisoner, I'm walking with him. He comes up and he goes, "Okay, which one of you sent your two fucking fanokes to press me for my fucking gold? You know I can have you fucking dead. I can have your family dead." He looked at one guy. He looked at the sergeant at arms. "I could have your boyfriend fucking dead. I could have your girlfriend dead. I could have your fucking mother dead if I just make one fucking phone call." And I'm like,
wow.
And I can, because you know who the fuck I am. And naturally, they're not really too focused on what he is saying, but they're looking at me like, "What's he doing here? He's here because he's here to fucking learn something as an officer. So you fucks stay out of my business and don't send your fucking fanokes."
What is a fanoke?
It's the short way of saying fag.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Finocchio is the
Finocchio?
Finocchio is the way when you call it, Italians, that's what they call each other, faggots. Fanoke is the abbreviated.
It's kind of like the Fugazi for fake.
What?
So this should say Finocchio instead?
Yeah, not Pinocchio, Finocchio.
You are a fag. You are a fag. You are a fag.
Starring Pop Hanks in there.
Listen, everyone gets screwed with at the regiment. That's how it works.
You're not free from being hazed. You are also everything and anything about you is susceptible.
Yeah,
like how we would prank them with, like I did what I did to Pete's Jeep because what he did to my answering machine.
All right, first of all, I'm going to tell the answer machine.
All right, you tell the answer.
All right, so like Mr. Rumor over there used to have the AT&T answer machine, and Pete worked for AT&T. And Mr. Rumor over there did not change the stock password.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah. So Pete calls up there, ooh, 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 and then records this outgoing message like a total flamer. Like, oh yeah. So
I remember it specifically. It says, "Hi, my name's fucking my full name. I'm gay," and just goes into this expletives of things that I would do to you if you leave a message.
And part of the message is, "My butthole's out of order for the next 7 days." All right. Nobody tells him. And he comes to, we forget about it.
I have 36 messages on my phone. And the way I found out was that at the time when Pete was married to his first wife, it was her friend that said, "Are you really laying that way?" And that's when I'm like, I check my outgoing. I'm like, oh, it's on.
And your mother actually.
My mom called
and listened to the message, and she didn't even tell him. Oh my God.
My own mom was in on the whole prank. And I'm like, "Mom, why did you tell me?" And she's just like, "I just thought it was just too damn funny not to tell you." And I'm like, and she goes, "April Fool's." I'm like, because we'd always do it around April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, fucker. So I was dating this real hot blonde, and I said, "All right, there's that Chosen bookstore in Royal Oak."
Yeah.
And I told her, I gave her like $50. I said, "Get all the gay stickers you could possibly get me."
Mm-hmm.
She goes in there, she gets all the shit. What are we gonna do? Okay, we could drive up to Pete's house. Nobody's home. So Pete never locked his garage where he had his prized teal blue Jeep.
Yeah, he finally got rid of that.
Yeah, he did. And so I go back there and I just put all the stickers on the back of the Jeep. And then one day Pete said, "My son was in the car when I had gay guys hitting on me." You fucker. So Royal Oak was rather at the time inundated with a gay community.
Well, there was an overflow from Ferndale.
Yeah, he's calling me on his cell phone. "I'm gonna get you, you fuck." I'm like, that's for the answering machine, you cocksuck. Fucking paid in full. We're done.
And we were actually planning to do the same thing to his boat.
Oh, we scoped it out too.
The only reason we didn't is because there's possibly you can get electrocuted. And we're like, yeah, it's not worth it.
No, we were going to put all sorts of gay pride on the back of Pete's boat.
Yeah.
He had a really nice.
Oh, he would have went berserk.
Yeah, that was his baby.
Yeah.
That was his baby. But we were just going to
And you know when he gets mad because he turns red and he bites his lips. Like,
it's very It's very characteristic when you press his button. It's very characteristic.
So like you when I put your head on the wedding dress.
Oh, that was a bad day for the Pops.
Yeah, it's good times.
I literally had like 5 or 6 of my NCOs. This is in New York State. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, there's a new video. And I pull it up. And the first thing that comes is my face on a woman wearing a wedding dress. And I'm like, I'm going to kill her. And everyone's laughing. And I'm like, yeah, well, it is a good burn. All right.
You see, you have to accept a good burn.
Yeah,
that's the rule.
That's the rule of the infantry.
Like when I burned that frickin' that chief over in Bagram about the "Don't Ask, Don't Tell." Remember when he was yelling out for Dick Fitzwell and somebody yelled out "Don't Ask, Don't Tell"? That was a good burn.
It was.
That was a good burn.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah. So you have to accept it.
You got to take the burn, man. Listen, I took the good burn.
You do take a few on the chin. I mean, there are other guys in the unit that really took some hard. Like, didn't you raid an office and put all sorts of fag paraphernalia in the office?
I did that all the time. Man.
What was his name? That captain. He was very religious.
Oh yeah.
So it was you and Stuck. 'Cause Stuck would do anything for a good laugh.
Look, man, we threw a hell of a flying crossbody cock block on that god boy.
Yeah. Captain Kane.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Was it Kane?
Captain.
No, it wasn't Kane.
That's a cool name, actually.
Well, actually, yeah, we screwed,
Kain. Yeah.
Yeah, we screwed with him badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was good in some ways, but he was a prick in a lot of other ways too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
well, I mean, let's be honest. Okay, you're the commanding officer. You cannot be a nice guy.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have people take advantage of you.
Yeah.
The best you can do is just maintain your standard.
Yep.
You know,
he did.
Yeah, he did a good job. He retired as lieutenant colonel.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't begrudge him anything. In
no,
fact,
I don't either.
When he left the unit, I gave him a 5th of whiskey, but I told him, I said, "Look, sir, I'll fight next to you any day, but you will never, ever, I will never allow you to be in command of me again."
Be sure honest.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't begrudge him anything. He did okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we screwed with him bad. Yeah, I remember we put the gay porn on the back of his map.
Yeah.
And the battalion commander was like standing there looking at him going, "Captain, is there something you need to tell me?" He's like, "Well, what?" And he looks back. He's like, "Jesus Christ!"
Now,
it was a collage
so now
of gay porn on the back of his map.
Yeah.
And we acetated on there so you can't, like, it won't come off.
No. It's affixed to the back of the map.
Yeah.
So there's just, you got to burn the map.
Yeah.
So,
what I find most amusing is that you're admitting to buying gay porn.
You know what? Stuck didn't give a shit, and I'm sure he had himself a sabotage locker.
I'm just saying that you might have to suffer.
You are fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality Statute.
Like, that's fair.
It's totally fair. Totally fair.
Yeah.
But listen, you had to be there. I wish we had phones back then that actually had cameras so you could film it. The look on his face was priceless.
We had a commo section. We had the commo section.
The miracle workers.
The miracle workers.
Yes.
But they had a large army chest full of porn from around the world.
Yeah.
You'd have to go into their tent and sign it out. Yeah.
That was serious. They were that stingy about it.
And you think, on Married with Children, where Al Bundy would get an issue of Biggins, is an actual porn mag from England. Because Walker loved big tits.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
He's like, Walker, where'd you get this? I mean, it's like Biggins. You get it from the Como tent. You can sign it out.
Biggins.
You can sign out porn from Como? Yeah, they got a smut bundle.
A smut bundle.
Smut bundle. Frodo Biggins.
All right. Now, to be honest, I actually assembled a footlocker of confiscated porn in Iraq, which I used to get us moved up more on the repair list to get our vehicles back on the road. Instead of taking, was it somewhere between 7 to 9 weeks? It was like
porn.
3 or 4 days. Oh, yeah.
There was a thing in Afghanistan when we would resupply SF in the mountains, we'd have the bundles. We call them CDS bundles. And we had the mysterious porn phantom. They call him the porn pirate. He would leave porn for the SF guys in the bundles, but we'd also see some pictures, exterior pictures that were in the wrap. And we couldn't pick at it because if we did it, it would frustrate the bundle. We'd have to kick it off. So we're doing a high altitude drop, and we're kicking out 8 bundles at a time, and all I'm seeing is just this freaking row of titties just going past me in the aircraft.
A row of titties.
I was like, that's fucking genius. Load clear.
Again, the Special Forces supply chain, or the Green Beret Express.
The Green Beret Express, yes.
Yeah, even to this day, I could still pull shit like that off. Like,
well, the way I saw Kirk living in Camp Vance, it was a Disneyland for adults, literally. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I would go on to Victory and go up to the hill. They had a compound up there, and they were doing the same thing.
No, but Bagram was a multinational base, and there was this beautiful Polish female soldier that was there, gorgeous. They're just in the top 5 of most beautiful women I've ever seen.
And you're also in Afghanistan, so you got to add 3 or 4 points.
There is true. There is that factor for East Coast, West Coast factors.
Yeah, like the stateside 5 is a deployment 9.
Is a deployment 9? Yes. Yeah, but no, I mean, and it was. We had this one pilot that wanted to go to the Korean Friday night fight nights.
Oh,
yeah, the Koreans would have a Friday night fight night. You get to fight your supervisors if you had a grudge.
I like it.
Yeah,
that's
and this
effective.
one pilot's like, yeah, I want to go fight because they don't grapple. They're all stand up. They're all doing taekwondo.
No.
Like, you're going to get shoot up and spit the fuck out.
You don't.
And they would do that.
See the freaking chick on the whatever podcast recently. She's like 100 pounds soaking wet, and she's like, "I've studied Krav Maga, so I'm confident that I can disarm anybody and throw an 180-pound man to the ground." And
oh yeah, I saw that.
It's like, oh yeah, let's see if this is a shot. So she like climbs on his back, and he literally like manhandles her around to the front, and then just fucking lays her ass down.
Yeah, I saw that. If you can find that clip, but there's this
hilarious.
You got somebody in the chat that so expressively put Harrietta Plopper in the chamber of cocks.
Yeah. Well, at Abu Ghraib, we had a fight night, and I fought in there like 6 or 8 times.
Yeah.
And then they wound up making me a referee because I knew what I was doing. They're like, "Oh, you're like, hey, Sergeant Pop, these guys are just amateurs, and it's not fair, and we really need a referee who knows what they're doing. So you can ref the fights." I'm like, "Yeah, fine." And I was really cool because I didn't allow anyone to get like totally knocked out. I'd step in. All right, we're giving you an 8 count. You get 2 8 counts. You're done. You get knocked your ass. I'll bring you up and I'll give you an 8 count. And if I don't think you're good, I'd call it.
Yeah.
And then the injuries went to almost nothing.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, all right, now you're done.
Well, I could see where somebody would want to fight their asshole supervisor.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just the frustration of saying, "You fucked me. I'm going to get you on fight night."
Oh, grudge night.
Grudge night. Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be a good way of putting it. Yeah. Somebody's lighting you up here in the chats there, Blake. Somebody says, congrats, Blake.
Oh yeah, because I have somebody who's noticed like, Jesus, is it my vision or did Blake lose some weight? No homo. I'm like, yeah, it's 20 pounds. So
Yeah.
working.
I lost 30 while living in God's waiting room.
God's waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Florida, right?
Florida is God's waiting room. There's this area in Florida called the Villages that has the highest STD rate amongst the retirees in the entire state of Florida.
Yeah, people don't realize just how much STDs are flying around rest homes.
Yeah.
People don't care. They're on their way out.
If you look up the Villages online, and you will see it has a dynamic STD rate because you get all these old retirees and they're swingers. They've turned into a retirement home of swingers.
Ugh.
And anybody who's on his chat that knows what Ginny Springs is about, you get a lot of swingers that pop in there because it's the only privately owned springs in Florida. The rest are state parks. This is the only one where you can drink and party.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. Don't get me wrong. And the springs get a little crowded and it just starts to turn into a toilet, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is. The spring, it's beautiful. It's clear water. That's where they do a lot of open water dive certification there. I don't think so much as Ginny Springs, but they do it at the Devil's Den. Devil's Den is pretty nice. But,
well, there's a lot of scuba diving down there. I mean, you're by the fucking ocean.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you fly down, we'll go to the Dry Tortugas. We'll go down there. We'll go diving or snorkeling or one of the two.
As long as it's nowhere near those retirement homes.
No, the Villages is more inland. I think it's near Orlando.
Just driving by there, I bet it sounds like you're playing with a bulldog's jowls.
Yeah. Well,
you could catch like I don't know, lung VD.
Yeah,
lung VD. Just breathing the air.
Somebody in the chat knows what I'm talking about. The Villages is like the Blob, the place that keeps growing and destroys everything around it.
That's going to be on the list for movie nights this year, I'm sure. The Blob.
The Blob.
Yeah.
Not the original, the one from the 80s that Pop hasn't seen.
All right, yeah. The original one I didn't like.
Yeah, it's very talky.
Yeah.
The remake is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys want to read some chats?
Yeah, let's read some chats.
I've been talking pretty much uninterrupted now for an hour and 20. So, see, and then I get on the show and Pup's like, "What do you want to cover tonight? You got videos?" I'm like, "You do know who's coming on the fucking show, right?"
Yeah.
Like, I barely get a word in edgewise when you two fuckers are on. I just kind of sit back and I get to take a night off.
It's even better when we really start drinking.
Well, why aren't you drinking?
I can't. My Czech liver light went on a couple years ago.
Yeah, and nobody drove me, so I'm driving my ass.
I got to go easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're getting old. We're beginning to understand our mortality.
Yes.
We got Alex Patino, 13th COSCOM unit patch. It's called the Exploding Asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrendous. Plains Warrior Gents, was Santa good to you, or did you get a visit from Krampus?
I would say Krampus. So
I actually have a friend who has Santa gifts and Krampus gifts.
Yep. Somebody made in the chat a very valid point. At the Villages, they use colored loofahs to tell what they want or on their golf carts, which is true.
It's just like the freaking. I watched this movie a long time ago for a class called Cruising.
Mm-hmm.
Al Pacino, the Crisco fisting in the gay club. Everybody knows that stuff's fucking disgusting. It was all done like they basically shot all that stuff documentary style for real. It's really disgusting. But they talk like, oh, well, if you put this color hanky in your back pocket, you like this. You like the yellow back here. You're into water sports. I'm just like,
Well, what you have to watch out for in Florida is the pineapple if it's turned upside down in the shopping cart.
If it's turned, what is that supposed to mean?
They're swingers. They go around Walmart, various other Publix, grocery stores. If the pineapple turns upside down, they're shopping for potential swingers.
Lovely.
Yeah, you don't need that aggravation.
Elon Musk.
Sergeant just dropped one.
Great screen name here. Elon Musk's filthy jockstrap. Says, you saved me, not the short guy in the corner, the true man over there. That's right. You. Love Aaron Clary sent me to you. Jalapeno cheese forever.
Hey, listen, send us your story. We'll give you a number.
Oh, yeah, brother.
We have to read you into the record because there's people out there are not going to believe.
They already don't.
That one fucking grunt out there has saved so many people from suicide with comedy. They're just not going to believe it.
Comedy works.
Yeah.
He follows it up with Pop has perpetual open front wound in Minecraft. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
No,
But
That's the wound that never heals, and every dude that's been divorced and lost his kids has been issued that wound, and it will never fucking heal.
Yeah.
just like a poop wound.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just keep dilating it. I'll call you ma'am sooner or later. I promise.
Best I could do is call you dudette.
Dudette. Shark Dentures. Hi, Grandma. We thought we'd surprise you with a visit to this holiday season. Oh my God! Quickly, cover the children's eyes. Never go visit Grandma in the village if you know what's good for you.
Yeah.
This could be bad, right?
Well, if you want a real interesting place to go, and both you fucking fanokes, I'd like to see you down there in Florida and do an actual live beach. Prove me marriage.
Oh, sell me marriage. Yeah.
Sell me marriage. Okay, I'll take you to Buc-ee's near Daytona. Buc-ee's, if everyone knows down south what a Buc-ee's is, it's a huge gas stop. It has the best burgers. It has the 20-foot rope of beef jerky. They have some of the best beef jerky there that I've ever had. But near Daytona Beach, it gets live. It gets goofy. It gets, bikini live. It gets parking lot live. It is something else. And there's another Buc-ee's that went near St. Augustine up near a Bass Pro Shop. You can combine those two. That's redneck heaven.
Redneck heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Heaven.
Yeah, somebody knows what I'm talking about. They got good ass brisket. Yeah, you're right. They do have a good ass brisket. They really do.
I like it.
Love me some good brisket.
Oh yeah.
Not a sock over on Rumble says, reposting this now that the stream has started. Got a red suppository story for y'all if you want it. First experience.
Yep.
Send it on, man. We'll read it.
Yeah, redonkulas12@gmail.com.
And do it now. Or you can click on the link tree in the Meat Gazer box. One of the first options there is a direct email.
Yeah.
Not so bad. Well, I got a new I got a new boxed wine in Catland just to make Alucard happy. So we'll check this one out. It's interesting.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Woo! Stop!
Not bad. Not bad.
AI shit, man. There you go.
AI's getting better.
It is. And it's also making my mind worse. LB Weaver, yes, you get double pay, but 75% goes to that one. Worth it? No. Getting married in the military, from what I understand, not worth it at all.
That one show you guys broadcasted about guys getting screwed over by the military in court because of what their spouses did.
Oh, yeah.
That scared the shit out of me.
Well, it's true. It's true.
Well, you never have to worry about us screwing you over, guys. I forgot to mention this last week. I updated the merch store. So I noticed that, we're getting into the cold time of year. We didn't really have any long sleeves or hoodies or something. Winter hats, that has now been rectified. Got some winter hats here, so good ideas don't need censorship. Make List Dexia great again, spelled how Pop would spell it, because he's atrocious. Of course, you got your regiment hats there, your Redonkulas tab, your allegedly hat. Got hoodies, zip-up hoodies. You guys check it on out. Almost all the designs there are represented, everything that would look good.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yes. So all you got to do is go to redonkulas.com front page, scroll down a little bit on the right there. You'll see the logo for Fourth Wall. Boom.
Beer me.
Beer me. And if you put in the promo code Space Ghost, it saves 10%. So do it.
Do it now.
NetGuy1975, was Dick Fitzwell at the infamous time you fucked with National Guard unit where the guy in the tank almost ran your squad member over?
Actually, he was. Remember that? We used to go fuck with the units that were out there doing their AT because
we would raid them.
Yeah, we would raid the shit out of them. But
we would get bored and we would raid the other units in Grayling.
Yeah, and the Mad Shitter.
Mad Shitter. Yes.
It was an M60 tank. So this is towards the end of this is like got to be 96, 95.
It was 96 when it
because the M60s were getting shipped overseas, but they were still using them a little bit because they didn't have enough A1 Abrams.
Weren't they switching over to the 240 platform?
They're switching over to Abrams.
Oh,
but it he just literally, I don't know what was going through his head. He wasn't in my team. We went in there, we raided. I threw some mud and some cruise surf weapons. We took a cooler, I think maybe two, one of drinks, one of sandwiches, and we're watching the pandemonium with night vision from outside the perimeter. And this guy gets on top of the tank,
drops his pants,
and the driver was still there sleeping, and this douche fucking.
The only expression on my face was like this. What the fuck is he? He just dropped his fucking pants. Oh, he's taking a shit.
And they almost ran him over with that tank. He almost didn't make the wood line. I'm like, he's gonna die. He's gonna die.
He made it. He
made it.
He's good. Well, before you got to the unit and we were training the Latvians, they were just wasting our time during the 2-week drill. Well, they decided to raid this one Camo unit. And that's when Kirk first came in. Mm-hmm. So Kirk's leading the raid and stuff like that. And Stuck was a part of it, naturally. And we fucked with them. We stole the guidon bearer. We took all of their crypto. Stuck hung a dead deer over their 292 antenna.
We used to do that all the time. That wasn't like a one.
Emptied the water buffalo.
Yeah. Standard operating procedure. We did that too.
We took their M60 at their gate guard.
Ooh.
We took the M60.
Yeah,
because I remember that because I walked up. I had my K-pot. I had to grab the K-pot. And I walk up. This guy goes, "You're my relief?" I'm like, "Yeah." He gets the fuck out. No Challenger pass, nothing. I'm walking on the road.
Nice.
He goes, "Well, what's going on?" I took a shit. Oh, all right. He leaves. I get in. Kirk's like, take the gun. All right. So we leave with the fucking, they're only M60. The female commanding officer, she came back and she was talking to Captain Nicholson.
The next day,
and she goes, "I want my guidearm back with the guidon bearer. I need my M60 back."
I remember. I heard that one. You guys taped him to his bunk.
Yes,
and ran off with him into the woods.
Nice. It was like this. Shut up, kid. You won't get hurt.
Literally, they run off into the woods. I remember hearing that. I'm like, that is amazing. Guidon is like laying next to him on the
somebody's, I don't know who it was, like snatched the guidon and two guys are carrying him out in the bunk, and I was end up it's like Stuck goes, retape his ass, make sure he doesn't get free. So, but as soon as he got back to our unit, we cut him from the tape and fucking they throw him beers, they throw him fucking pizza, and he's like, "Sit here, shut up, and just chill." Guy's like, "All right." This is the best AT ever. And then he goes back to his commanding officer and goes, "I don't want to leave these guys."
Yeah.
Classic Stockholm syndrome. These guys are really cool.
Yeah. I remember hearing that story. I was like, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah. It's like they planned the raid, and Captain Nicholson was kind of like wondering in first formation in the morning why everyone was tired and camoed up.
Yeah.
And it was like, it dawned on him. What'd you do? Sir Maz is like, "Coyle, I don't know what you're talking about."
That was always his answer.
I don't know. And he looks back at us. "What'd you guys do?" "Nothing."
Yeah, Sergeant Coyle.
And Sergeant Coyle goes, "You heard him." "Nothing." "Why are you all in like smeared camouflage and you all look like you just like 3 sheets in the wind, you fuckers?" And that's when that female captain colonel pulled up. And that's when she goes, "I know you took my guidon bearer. Could you return him, please?"
And I want my machine.
I want my M60 back. Why did you empty your entire water buffalo?
That's a standard operating procedure.
Yeah, and bring back, and we want all our crypto from our command wagon, and
that's actually a big one.
Yeah, and why did you hang a dead deer over our
standard operating procedure?
We're like, and everyone Stuck's like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
I wasn't in that group.
Yeah, no. I mean, everyone was like, "We don't know what you're talking about." So it's just one big phase of denial.
Well, the thing up there in Grayling, there's always dead deer.
Yeah, there's
And-
off to the side of the road. Well, Stuck found one off to the side of the
Yeah.
road and had his Snuffy drag it with him to the raid.
Nice.
All right. And like, Stuck, you're a fucking animal. And he's like, yeah, it'd be fucking cool. Fuck them, their legs. You know?
Legs.
Yeah. So Walker, remember Goat Belly?
Yeah.
You know how creative he gets, and he's like putting simulated claymores on all the tents.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. So after that, nobody wanted to play with the 4.25.
Well, we did it every year. We did those.
There was a raid.
I remember pulling one and writing "you're dead" on with permanent marker on like maybe 20 or 30 guys' foreheads.
Yeah.
They wake up in the morning. What's going on? Why does it say you're dead on everyone's forehead?
Just the amount of shit you could get away with during AT.
Well, first of all, you realize just how ineffective standard units are.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, big dumb army is as it sounds. It's big, it's dumb.
Yeah.
How they function.
Once they get going, they're pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
But when they stop and chill, they look.
Well, you know,
they fuck up bad.
you know that one. Let me kind of paraphrase. When it's an immovable object meets an unstoppable force, that's pretty much how the army works. Okay, it's its own worst enemy, so that's the that's the unstoppable force, but it's also at the same time the immovable object. So it has that symbiosis of the two.
Yep.
I still don't know how the big dumb army functions to this fucking day.
Well, they fuck everything up.
But how?
Because they have incompetent commanders who are arrogant and make prideful decisions instead of decisions based on gratitude and effectiveness.
It's like every good idea, they'd be like, "Oh, this will work, sir." No, let's go with this. This doesn't make any fucking sense,
I know.
sir.
I can't tell how many times there's like 2 or 3 times I've been invited to leave command tents or briefings because I'm telling them the truth and they don't want to hear it. Thank you, Sergeant Pop. You may leave. I'm like, I think I've been dismissed. Okay. Where's the vending machine?
Where's the vending machine? Go get a cup.
I need to see my first girlfriend, little Debbie.
I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee.
All right, Blake. Let's get some more of these super chats.
All right. Oh, what do we got here? Net Guy 1975 wants to know how many people got the herpetogonosyphilitis from the groupies.
Well, they had the team medic there, so it was always a harsh talking to and a shot of penicillin.
Yeah.
Or in the butt.
Yep.
Cliff 3188, I've either discovered a universal constant or you have a new female fan, or both. Out of service's own household 6 bequeathed to myself and my BIL, brother-in-law, her husband, our very own Pringles cans for Christmas.
All right.
Nice.
No Pringles can. Yes.
Careful with those, man. You never know
Yeah.
what shit might come out.
Never buy Pringles anymore because of that fucking story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
No,
fault, man.
One Pringles can, and they never let you live it down.
No.
All your fault.
I'm surprised how it's just stayed in the post office for as long as it did.
Well, it took a while for it to start leaking through the side, running down.
Net Guy says, Pop, does Lieutenant Dina or Lieutenant Colonel Dina stand for her rank or for the large tyrannical cunt Dina?
Well, she was a large tyrannical cunt named Dina was part of her name, and her rank was 06. She did get promoted to full bird, but she did not get the full 3 years because my IG complaints, haunted her.
Didn't you stack them?
Good.
Didn't you stack those IG complaints against her like one after the other?
One after the other. It's like automatic fire. And then once I started, all of the senior NCOs started dropping IG complaints.
Were they just scared of that woman or what?
Yeah. Well, that's the way it goes. Is a lot of the enlisted don't understand that I'm going to do a course on administrative violence, military edition, because if you get enough guys in the unit, like this commander is fucking out of control or fucked up, and enough people drop IG complaints, they will get rid of that commander because it's cheaper to get rid of the commander than replace.
I understood a lot of commanders in Ranger Battalion would be dismissed because they just understand how the Rangers operated.
Yeah, that happened on the regular.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
All right, we got Danger Dad sent in a Hyundai. Thank you very much.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Thank you very much.
That'll help you fix your kitchen.
Actually, it's put back together now. But
No, that's a lie. I'll spin that camera around and I'll show you that thing called a kitchen. It's an abyss.
Okay.
Wrong one upstairs.
Oh, I'm talking both, Blake.
Oh yeah, you know.
Because
It's more livable than it was.
Because I'm trying to convince him to move to God's waiting room and put him in a home. Give him,
Yeah.
not a lair. Remember, I'm working on your wall of anger.
I can't even get him to buy a dog. You think you're going to get him to move to Florida?
I got to show some boobies and beer.
Whatever works.
We'll see.
Danger Dad says, it was a rough year, unemployed for most of it, but I bounced back at the end better than the start. Keep safe alive, gents.
That's the shit I like to hear, man.
Yeah, me too. Congratulations, brother.
Shark Dentures chimed in. Retirement home for Pop?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, it doesn't go together. We got Pop on Q-tips from Gendai. This ought to be interesting. It always is. Let's see what we got here.
Uh-oh.
Pop on Q-tips.
Remember, in a 500-day period, someone could have met someone, got married, gave birth to a child, got divorced, and still would have been using the same box of Q-tips.
Oh my God, it's totally correct.
That's random as shit right there.
Wow. I love it. That's great.
Speaking of just that little retro episode right there with the music and stuff, there's a lot of guys that I have met that would like to see you go back to the original corner boards.
We're actually working that.
We're working on it.
We're working.
Because it's like, when's Pop going back to the original?
I just filmed a whiteboard upstairs.
I'm talking where you had the original corner boards when you were there, and you described the whole briefing out.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just like,
well, no.
They missed the old Pop.
I know. I filmed one. It's Everything is War, and I literally have a standard ambush.
And
I've given this class thousands of times, and I've done it hundreds of times. And I literally this is how family court works. And I literally put all the different stuff on them. Like, this is what happens. You're on the X. Yeah. Because I was responding to a woman's email. Like, in
my divorce, remember when you told me to subpoena the text messages?
Yeah.
So was which I did. Now I'm coaching somebody else on how to subpoena and get the text messages to prove infidelity.
Yeah. The bumping, the illicit bumping of uglies.
Yeah, we all know about that.
All right, next one.
Suze McCarley sent in 30 in the K-Shap. Thank you very much, Suze.
Thank you so much.
Back over to Rumble. What do we got here? I had to drop the ban hammer on somebody. They were spamming the living shit out of it. I always hate to have to do that.
Well, I paused them for 5 minutes. I didn't ban them.
Oh, there's a different one.
A different one? Okay.
Yeah, I took care of it because it was spilling over into the YouTube chat. Like, somebody go take care of this fucker.
Yeah. Somebody just said right here, old Pop whiteboards are the greatest. See what I mean?
Yeah. They're listen.
Yeah, Eat My Butt 12 was the person that I had to fucking mute for permanently.
Yeah.
Wow. Eat My Butt 12. Where did they come up with
12.
Well, we get a lot of haters. I mean, what are you going to do?
Well, those are the ones who embrace.
Yeah.
You haven't done a hate mail one in a long time either.
It's because they're all the same, man.
Yeah.
Okay, you're
They're all
right.
the same. Nobody's unique. It's always the same shit. You hate your mom. You must have a terrible relationship. How dare you think of your daughter? Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Tomahawk, excellent show, gentlemen. Now give me Nancy in latex.
Oh, God.
I can't do that because I don't have that one queued up, but I do have this disgusting piece of entertainment. Yeah. Get away! Get away!
Oh,
God!
hate this one.
You see, that's the villages.
Yeah.
Right there.
And that's the average dress size.
Ugh.
Yeah. MGTOW Mando, Merry Christmas, you malicious MILF munching mungers. Some good alliteration there.
Somebody says, "I beat bleach, please."
Big Town Mando, Fitzwell, if you have access to the jar, straw barrage. Blake, if he does not have access, give us the worst deep fake you have not played tonight. Oh, he's got plenty. Throw Pop some dicks. He loves when dicks fly at his face.
All right, that's enough.
Without that, he wouldn't have a social life.
Jesus, that's harsh.
Professor Blake Pooh-Ass Blaster 3000. When Blake lost 20 pounds, looks like the yellow M&M commercial that got blown by the purple M&M, and that's how Blake lost 20 pounds. Not sure how that works.
No, I don't want to know. I'm good.
I'm having a hard time visualizing it. International House of Whoop-Ass. I remember that in AT, I used to drop crushed CS pellets in the porta potty air hole that's on top.
Nice.
Seeing people rush out of that place and trip and fall was hilarious.
Priceless.
That's genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to push over porta shitters on people all the time.
Oh my gosh! Or tip them.
Well, like literally, I'm with my team.
Yeah.
We're watching the objective, and some guy comes out with a newspaper. And I'm like, I can't resist.
Well, did you hear about the alleged photo that went around?
The alleged photo?
That somebody actually got a picture of a chick taking a shit in the woods.
That's why she chooses the bear.
Yeah.
Well, no, somebody said we're going to be observing this one unit for just for a alerts training mission.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, our only objective is to get a picture of a chick taking a shit in the woods.
Yeah.
It's an objective.
All right, next one. Let's hit that.
Technique, not the preferred method. Alucard wants some singing pop.
Faggot!
It scares me how my face fits on there. And I'm wearing the classic Romulan helmet.
That's actually a Russian singer. He can sing in this into a range that's amazing. He's actually well known in this country.
I'm sure he is.
No.
I mean,
but the song itself, that's a homo suspicion point.
Yeah, you're right.
It is. It is a point.
LB Weaver.
Gay?
Gay. LB Weaver says, I'd like present pop 1 week, past pop the next. I also miss Pimp Tard Wifestitute.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, I need to get some more celebrities that have gone through big divorces. If you guys have any celebrities that have gone through big divorces and you can find the numbers, email them to redonkulas12@gmail.com. Pimp Tart Wifestitutes are math. They're absolutely hilarious and completely and utterly devastating.
Tantalum 180 is asking, would it be too much to ask for the whiteboards to be new tech and rumble based so we can go back to basics as best as possible? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, we could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
Just do it.
That's entirely up to you.
Yeah.
Single for life.
Add some flair, you know.
Single for life wants Pop and a hillbilly Hillary showing each other some AI love.
Oh, God.
So good and tasty.
God, that's fucked up. God damn it. That is some bullshit.
You
right
realize that they're raping you.
Green screen abuse.
Bullshit.
Alucard says the dog man called. She won't let Pop go. Fitzwell. Oh.
To do a Pimp Tard Wifestitute, you'd have a list there because, like, Musk couldn't keep his wife. Bezos couldn't keep his wife.
I already did Bezos.
Yeah, we already did Bezos.
That one, those numbers are ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Well, he fucked up on that one. He
You
had a woman who was actually in it to win it, and he fucking cheated on her.
Yep.
Sorry, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit at that point. And yeah, have you seen the plastic piece of shit that he's with now?
Yes.
No.
It's grotesque.
No.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like his ex was a great prize or anything, but she actually helped him build.
Yeah. Okay. If she was in it to win it, then you know what? He deserves every fucking thing he did.
Yeah, because they were married for like 20 fucking years. She was there with him when he built the damn site.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
He fucked it over. It's his own damn fault. And now she's one of the richest women in the world from divorce, which is all the richest women in the world.
That's exactly. I was just going to say that.
No, that's right.
Tomahawk says, thanks for the Nancy. I'm good for a week. I don't want to know what you're doing for the next week.
God damn.
And please don't tell me. Gendai 351 wants the wiggle dance for Dave. Dave's not even here. You still want to bash on him. All right.
Yeah, he was a Marine. Okay, all right. Or Cox. You literally are going to have some of your guests walking away with PTSD from this show. You realize?
Probably.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Big Town Mando, when I was in the Fox platoon, we used to park our vehicles in front of the porta-johns so close that they couldn't open the doors and then purge the overpressure systems.
Nice. Yeah, that was a
move, man.
Yeah.
Single for Life wants more cack. That one I didn't bring up here. Like, I have to find it. Oh,
okay.
I don't even know where it is. I'll look it up here. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to look for something else here. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Hang on, let me pop out the Odyssey chat here. Blankets has a real winner here.
Okay.
What is it? Oh, okay. That's not her tongue. I was like, is her tongue another hot dog?
I don't know.
Oh my!
With a tongue like that, she could tongue dart a fart box with no problem.
Oh God!
I don't even want to know, man.
Oh jeez! This guy's got way too much time on his hands.
Yeah, you're right.
Very true. It's very true. Okay, as requested.
This is just straight up green screen abuse, man.
If it's on the internet, it's out there forever. You quote. You said it.
All right.
You are open to this.
Green screen abuse, man.
You get what you get. You don't throw a fit.
If you're only going to give them more material later on.
Listen, if I can keep guys alive, it's worth it.
Well, of course, but guys with such an active imagination like this, and to use you out there. I mean, the years of abuse you put me through.
Yeah, I know. Get over it.
They're writing the check.
I mean, if you're on the internet, you have to be willing to make an ass of yourself.
She's a little too skinny and a little too expensive.
Yeah, that is Florida expensive.
Yeah.
That is Barbie Coast expensive.
Crazy Uncle. Wait, these guys are doing a Thursday stream that talks about how bad whammons screw over every man they deal with. Who would have guessed that? Yeah, you must have signed in and threw this in a little bit too early there. Who would have guessed? Question: what do you call a working man with no money, no time, no hobbies, and no control over his own life? Answer: married.
Married. Correct.
Yeah, hasn't really killed me too much. No time, yeah. But I at least get to do my hobby for a living, which is a win. Rectum Blood Libel Man.
Oh, that's a new one.
Pop, I know I'm a very dumb boomer. He somehow in 2024 thinks the military is not corrupt and he's pressuring his son to join. Oh, I know a very dumb boomer, he meant. He somehow in 2024 thinks the military is not corrupt. He's pressuring his son to join. Where's your old depressing documentary on the military divorce graping men? Depressing you mean Purple Heart's Final Beat? That wasn't a documentary.
No, it was that one episode where it scared me. That was depressing.
Yeah, that was
that was
only like 2 or 3 weeks back.
Yeah, that was terrifying. That was with Steve. That was with Battle
Dwarf. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you can send me that link so you know which one I'm talking about, I'll send it over to him.
All right.
And then Rectum Blood Libelman sent 20 for beer. Nothing wrong with that. I like beer. You like beer? I like beer.
I like beer.
Beer is good.
And it's...
Yes. Dude, with the frickin' video requests. AOC Blue Dildo of Doom.
Oh,
please,
God.
Please. Actually, I got a new one here. What is this? This must be a new BVB creation. I haven't seen this one yet.
Oh.
Nice. Yeah.
That's better. Okay.
Good. I like that one.
Alucard asks, how many men did Kamala absorb while they were in her snot pocket? I don't know. If you tested that woman's brain, it would be a DNA stew. Montel, Willie Brown, Willie's Willie. Elon Musk's filthy jockstrap tossed in $100. Thank you very much.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now, I will tell you this, Elon Musk's filthy jockstrap. If you actually would like to see the Redonkulas Regiment gain from your donations, don't do them on YouTube because they literally take half, just like Pops X. Half.
You can do it on Stripe. That's or Square.
It's not too bad, but Cash App is the best. You get 100% of your donation actually goes to the regiment. We thank you guys. He says, here's my story. Don't stop broadcasting and never stop shitting on Clary. Also, where's your review of Die Hard? You just haven't watched it yet. Everybody loves Die Hard.
You got a review of Die Hard?
We haven't reviewed Die Hard yet.
No, we haven't watched Die Hard yet, but everybody loves Die Hard. I mean,
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I
Even
mean,
though Bruce Willis denies that it's a Christmas movie, but it has been officially termed as a Christmas movie.
Fuck him.
did they have do like an AI freaking dissection, and they found out that Die Hard's more of a Christmas movie than Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
I think so, yeah.
That's some funny shit. Ken Rose sent in a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Elon Musk's filthy jockstrap. Ken Rose is my second favorite commenter. And he says, always tell the MP/SF when the 06 is en route, cuz.
You don't want to get caught with your pants down or booze in your hooch.
It's a true story.
Die Hard, a weekly event, The Villages?
Oh, my. Or Expire Erect, if you prefer.
Well, it could be. It's the number one purchaser of Viagra. It could be The Villages. I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
Yeah, so I agree. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. You know one that people always forget about, and I like it more than Die Hard? Lethal fucking Weapon.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Forget
right.
It's a Christmas movie. The opening credits play to Jingle Bell Rock.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, you're
Gosh,
right.
that is forgotten. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon is fucking great. And Batman Returns, also Christmas movie. People forget about that one.
Okay.
Watch it every year. Mustanger 20, thank you very much, good sir. Mustanger 65 cent 20, I mean to say. Elon Musk's filthy jockstrap. I'm filing a YouTube IG complaint against Pop.
Okay.
Go for it. Do your best. Mad Dog 1991. Better than Mad Dog 2020.
Somebody said Rambo First Blood is also a Christmas movie, too.
Correct. There is a Christmas tree in the background of the police station. Mad Dog 1991. After dumping the bitch 2 years ago, 33, down 70 pounds, owned my condo, make $90K, went through some hard times, but worth it.
Nice.
Rise, focus on self-improvement. Greetings from Wisconsin.
All right.
All right.
I love hearing those stories.
Thank you very much. Do you guys want to take a look at some of those hilarious Christmas tweets before we call it a night? Because that shit looks hilarious. Actually, I want to do this story first, if I may. It's almost 10 o'clock, so we're not going to be able to get through a ton, but I definitely wanted to show off the divorced guy's Christmas tree. So this one happened to show up in my feed this morning, and I thought it was so damn hilarious, I had to share it with you. It's from the Reddit thread, Am I Wrong? Am I wrong for screaming at my mom and storming out after she gave me coal for Christmas because of my job? Gee, I wonder what she does for a living. Hi, I'm 19, female, and I work in the adult industry.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a decision I made for myself. I enjoy it, and I'm doing well. Yeah, everybody who works in that industry tells themselves that until reality kicks in.
Yep.
Good luck with that. This Christmas, my mom, 48 years old, gave me coal as my gift. When I opened it, she laughed and said something like, it seemed fitting, given your job.
Jeez. Oh, my gosh.
I was absolutely furious. To me, this wasn't a joke. It felt like a direct attack on my work and who I am. Well, I lost my temper, yelled at her, and told her she was being incredibly disrespectful and judgmental. Well, I also told her I work hard for my money.
Okay.
Okay,
What?
I didn't realize this person was funny.
Phrasing right there. I
Yeah.
work hard.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Good times. And don't deserve to be treated like this, especially by my own mom. She rolled her eyes and said I was overreacting. I needed to learn how to take a joke, like you take a cock. I shouted back something like, "You don't get to talk to me this way," and left the room. The rest of Christmas was obviously ruined, and now I'm left wondering if I took things too far. Did I overreact by screaming and leaving? Yeah. Should I have just shrugged it off as a bad joke, or am I justified in standing up for myself when the joke felt so personal and mean? It's not like she bought you anal lube for Christmas.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I mean, you're screwing up. Just saying.
Little bit.
Did you guys see the one video of the one girl? She goes, "Oh, hey everybody, I paid for dinner." And then the dad says, "Yeah, sucking cock on a web."
I did not see that.
It's out there because
Oh
this
my
girl,
God.
she's going on about how she paid for the Thanksgiving dinner, and then cuts over to dad, and dad's like, "Yeah, sucking cock."
Oh my
That's
God.
beautiful. No more chats for tonight, gentlemen. Thank you very much. But it is almost 10 o'clock, and we got a couple more things we wanted to get to here. Tomahawk. Okay, hold on. We have Hillbilly Hillary, Nasty Nancy. Why no Kamala vids?
Somebody out there is going to send them to you.
Yeah, what
Oh, it's going to happen now that you mentioned it. LB Weaver, Sarge watched on Christmas Eve. Sarge is the man.
Yep.
And MGTOW Mando, Gremlins is also a Christmas movie. Correct. It's got the most fucked up like exposition backstory of any Christmas movie made for kids. When she talks about how she found out there was that Santa was, dead because her dad died while trying to climb down the chimney and he got stuck. And I think there was a criminal recently who was trying to escape the law.
Oh yeah, and he got
by
stuck
hiding in a chimney and he got stuck.
I believe we got another Cash App too.
I will take a look. What do we got here? Yes. So from Polska Bob sent a hundy. Thank you very much. Beer monies, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Elon Musk's filthy jockstrap says, I know 30% gets taken, but it's how to get fans. I'm not sure how that works.
Me neither.
It's not a big deal.
I'm not sure if donations have anything to do with our algorithm, especially considering Battle Dwarf has been diving into the analytics recently, and it turns out only 5% of our viewership actually comes from notifications, pretty much proving that almost no one fucking gets them.
Yes.
So I'm not sure how super chatting on YouTube is going to help that, but I appreciate it anyway. And he responds, I'm an HR manager and I'm offended. Augustus Sonny, Pop, you said when you had to make weight for a fight, you would not eat for 3 days, no problem. Did you learn any spiritual stuff from fasting? Interesting question.
Well, back then, no, not from fasting, but everything is a lesson. In my 10 years of fighting, I learned humility. I learned how to not be prideful. I learned about gratitude. A lot of those life lessons, they're there for the taking. You just have to be open to them.
True story. Yeah, most people miss out on a lot being closed-minded. Leftoids.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Thank you very much for that. Oh, yeah, I wanted to show off a couple of these just because this is the second one especially is just fucking hilarious. So I don't normally look at Yahoo News, but I was just looking for funny Christmas news to share in case anything, like we had a lull in conversation. Obviously, that didn't happen, but I have to share this one here. So, breaking. Santa Claus is currently in a dogfight with drones over the state of New Jersey.
I would love to see an AI with some like elf tail gunners and stuff. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Elf tail gunners and then reindeer just shooting machine gun ass turds. Flying drones.
Yep.
Great. This is my favorite. My dad is so divorced, our Christmas tree is his rowing machine.
I love it.
I'm sure you can relate, Pop.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, here we go. Relatives are starting to ask about boyfriends. They don't know they're talking to the Lesbotron 3000.
Get the hell out of here with that bullshit.
Yes, tell that to all of the machine washer safe dicks that are in there.
That's right. You don't see a bunch of dishwasher safe mechanical tongues in the dishwasher now, do you?
Not so much.
Yeah.
Or clams.
Yeah.
You can drunk text whoever you want on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. They legalized both recently. Was it ever illegal? Frowned upon, yes. Illegal? Not so much. Community note gone, lesbians won. Annual reminder that the Grinch was raised by a lesbian couple.
Wow.
Excellent.
Not
Well, it
bad.
explains why he's a completely, well, he's an asshole. Not like lesbians have the highest divorce rates and rates of domestic violence or anything. No, that's never true. My fam skipped Christmas Mass, but we did watch Conclave, so I think that still counts. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I don't even know what that show is.
I don't either. I meant gay as in festive and cheerful. True. New year, new mental issues.
Nice.
Yep. What's this here? To those working this Christmas, strippers, gas station employees, Uber drivers, fire, emergency medical services, Walmart employees, the weed man. Thank you for your service.
Nice.
Oh, and Chinese restaurants.
Of course, yes. Fa ra 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 ra. Dad's watching the kids open presents, not knowing what mom bought them. Looks like he's signing divorce papers. The Simpsons is the only piece of media I can think of that accurately portrays the fact that much of winter, especially early winter and cold climates, it looks like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty damn depressing outside right now around here.
I haven't seen the sun in 3-4 days since I've been here.
Yeah. This is a good question. How the fuck your breath stank around Christmas and it's peppermints everywhere?
Good point.
Because people spend Christmas Eve eating ass? I have no idea.
You're not
That was just a few of them. Just figured I would share a couple of those. Feel free to look them up. Some funny shit. There's been some real interesting stories that have come out, just like this one here, Christmas Eve. Fitting for a Thought Thursday. Single women are doing photo shoots with fake baby bumps.
And the reason is wild.
Apparently, this is in China, so even they're not escaping the insanity. Young women in China are paying for fake maternity photo shoots because they want beautiful pregnancy pictures while they're still at their physical peak. Bizarre phenomenon garnered national attention in October after Gen Z influencer, stupid expression, Mitzi Gage, or Gigi, aged in her early 20s, strapped on an artificial belly and posed in front of a camera. Well, I'm still slim. I wore a fake belly to take maternity photos and enjoy a pre-made life. I even did it with my best friend. That was just a phase in college.
Listen, China is getting crushed just like we are with the whole lack of births.
Oh, yeah. They're not be able to backfill their population.
Yeah, they officially ended the one-child policy almost 10 years ago amid concerns about an aging population and declining birth rates. Although it's hilarious, the same shit that they're like really pushing over here, like soy boys and all that stuff, is literally outlawed in their media now.
Yep.
They're refusing to push girly boys. It's all masculinity. And so eventually we can look forward to the same. Good times. After they officially realize that kind of a model, especially if you want to maintain the lifestyle that you rich cocksuckers have become accustomed to, is completely unsustainable without, I don't know, workers, manpower, dumbasses. Of course, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Here in the West, I mean, it's the laws that are keeping guys from getting married and having kids.
Yep. It's not the marriage that makes you broke. It's the fucking divorce.
That's absolutely correct.
I got lucky with mine.
Yeah.
I did.
Well, you subpoena the text messages. Alucard, the dog man and Pop sitting in a tree having some booze while in a tree. Okay. And Elon Musk's filthy jockstrap says, I once fasted for 9 days and lost 0 weight.
That's because you're insulin resistant.
Or fat. Could be fat.
You think it's insulin resistance?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had the same problem in the beginning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, a lot of people, most people, only get like a fraction of the amount of potassium they need, and that is essential for your pancreas to function properly to filter all that shit out. So
Mhm.
if you're not taking potassium supplements, eating bananas and potatoes and stuff like that on the regular, you're fucking up by the numbers, and your system is not going to thank you for it when you get older. Trust me. LB Weaver says, now that Christmas is over, it'll be months until Easter. All that time without my Quantaha sisters. One liberal, the other just a Quantaha.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, we should do a call-in stream about crazy relatives on the holidays.
Ooh,
That'd be a good one.
That would, yes. That would.
Yeah, I like it.
What do you think next week?
Well, yeah, we could put it out there and see if we get enough people that want to call in.
What do you guys think? You guys want to call in and tell us some crazy-ass stories about your relatives from the holidays? I'm sure just from this year, people are going to have some stories. But, yeah, I think Blankets in the Gilded Chat was wondering about stories like that.
Yeah.
Filthy jockstrap. I weigh 500 pounds. Was that the issue? It might be. I'm sure you're fucking with me, but it might be.
Blue-haired family member story time. Oh, yes. When the trope of liberals comes to family dinners to express their non-political views, okay, where their attempts at trying to socially re-engineer the family fail.
Yep.
And they call you a fascist.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, all these dumbasses not showing up to Thanksgiving or Christmas this year. You voted for Trump. You want to take away my rights. If you can explain which rights were taken away, I will be happy to entertain this conversation.
I had a family member that on the 2016 refused to talk to the rest of the family because we voted for Trump. But yeah, okay. And then obviously we move into the potato administration.
Yeah.
And so we try to connect and talk again. So I freely express myself. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to think.
Yeah,
right.
That's the way you should conduct yourself.
I posted a meme with a mom asking her child, "What did we learn today in school?" And it's him puking up the freaking gay rainbow.
Good.
So you see, you need to be more inclusive and think a little bit more open. I was like, don't tell me how to have a ever fucking think or say.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're more inclusive, but the thing is, they're not inclusive at all.
No, it's come
as soon as they come up against somebody with an opinion that's different, that's how they treat you. Well, I can't be around you. It's not my responsibility to educate you. Shut the fuck up.
It's just come to see right now what it's all boiling down to: feminism, the alphabet mafia, all want superiority now. It's no longer about equality. They're both fighting for superiority.
Special privileges.
Yes, sirree.
Yeah.
It's not going to work out for you because sooner or later, people who, grew up in a meritocracy, they're going to want that back. And, they're not going to want their children to grow up around mentally ill mental midgets trying to, assert supremacy and calling it equality. No, fuck off. Not going to work out for you.
No.
Elon Musk's filthy jockstrap says, I would pay for that call in. What do you think? Next week? You want to do that?
We can do that. And it can be more than just crazy relatives. You can have cunts.
Yes.
Asshole brothers.
Blue-haired family members like Fitzy
the
was
fun
saying.
uncle that don't give a shit and just has zero filter.
That's me.
Damn right. Everybody wants one. That got to come by. Alucard says, the dog man is Pop's girlfriend. Well, bitches love him. What can you say? All right. I think that about does it for the chats. I'm going to double check, make sure there's no more K-Shaps in the email. Nope. We're all caught up. Everything's all right. Thank you all very much for watching tonight, enjoying the military stories and all that jazz. And don't take any pictures with a fake maternity belly on.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's stupid.
That is stupid.
They're just going for clout. It's like here's a healthy palette of all the attention that you fucking deserve or don't deserve.
You get what you fucking deserve.
Yeah.
All right. Any final words from you tonight, Fitzy?
No, it's good to see you guys. It was interesting reading the chats. Then I'll soon be off back down to Florida. So if any of you Pop fans are down there, come look me up. I'm easy to find. I'm out there in Neptune Beach.
All right.
Safety briefing.
All right, everybody, don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. It's not going to work out. If you must fornicate, wear a condom. Take it with you or flush it down the toilet. Why don't you go all the way down? Because child support does last 18 to 21 years, and latex will save your paychecks. Rack up, pack up, and stack up. There's safety in numbers. And maintain your situational awareness, because if you're going to be attacked, something in your environment will have changed. It's up to you to see it. And last but not least, I know we're in the holidays and this is a bleak time of year for a lot of dudes out there, but please do not take a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I'm sick and tired of throwing you guys into the dirt needlessly. Play the long game, stay in the fight, and if everything else fails, live out of spite and laugh your goddamn ass off winning.
You're damn right. And as always, don't add to the population, don't subtract from the population, don't wind up in the hospital, cemetery, or jail. If you do end up in jail, establish dominance quickly. And remember, even if it's December 26th, it's not Christmas until you've seen Hans Gruber fall to his death from Nakatomi Plaza.
Fair enough.
So suck a dick, and I'll see you next week.
All right.
I can't do it!